All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. God bless everybody in Jesus' name. I do pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is pumping, baby, on the lower time frames as we're still consolidating within this little wedgie mageddie. And look, as the title of the video says, watch before tomorrow, because as we know, tomorrow is the federal funds rate. All right, what does this mean? This means our good friend Jerome Powell, all right, is going to come out of his closet and tell us all about what he thinks should happen fiscally, financially, economically, right? Are we feeling dovish, bearish? How's inflation doing? You know what I'm saying? He's going to solve all our problems coming out here. Yeah, we've got a horrible debt problem and we can't stop printing money, and there's never been a fiat currency in the history of the world that hasn't hyperinflated and ended horribly. But Jerome Powell, all right, this guy is going to solve all our problems, and he's going to let us know how that problem solving is going tomorrow by adjusting and or maintaining interest rates. And of course, we know this does cause short-term volatility, which tickles the fancy of all the charts across the board. We're talking stocks, cryptos, foreign exchange coins, you know, all these things, right? All these other cool terms. You know, I just love throwing out cool terms, especially as a YouTube trader. I love throwing out terms like smart money, ICT, fair value gap, change of character, BOS. You know, we got a little BOS going up on here. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason why this is so important, in my opinion, tomorrow, is because we are seeing signs across the board of a big pump incoming. And a lot of times we know that this federal funds rate doesn't really do anything major for the markets, but it does cause short-term volatility. And oftentimes what you need to initiate a big move is short-term volatility. Jason, you're smoking that hopium again. You're smoking those adult Depends diapers again, Jason. I see you, Jason, with those Depends adult diapers. I see you taking the diaper. I see you putting it inside your pipe. Okay? Taking a puff. Jason, why are you always so bullish, man? Look, before I became a crypto YouTuber, they sat me down and they said, Jay, if you ever are bearish on stream, we're going to have to take you out. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you mean you're going to have to close my channel? They're like, no, we're going to have to take you out. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, take me outside? Like a breath of fresh air? They're like, don't worry about it, all right? We just hope that you're never bearish on stream, okay? It's against the law if you're trying to be a crypto YouTube trader. They said, Jay, look, we need you to get everybody else to be the exit liquidity for us. I said, oh, is that how it works? Now look, here's the thing. Why am I really so bullish here? Because when we look at the Bitcoin chart and the altcoin charts in general, we are seeing big bullish signals across the board. Now, does this mean we're guaranteed to pump? No. But I do think this could be a catalyst that initiates another launch towards $130,000. I just want to show you the fact that short-term volatility leads to a big move. Let's just look at what's been happening for the past few short-term volatility areas. Okay, look at this. Short-term volatility, big dump, and then boom. All right, look at this. Short-term volatility, big dump, and then boom. Look at this. Short-term volatility, big dump, and then the boom hasn't happened yet. I say the buh of the boom. All right, we still have the We're waiting for the Yo, let me get some room to hear that You know what I mean? When price pumps and you're like man, I'm feeling that one here, right in the bosom, right in the, what's it called? The riboplasmics. You get hit when you're a kid and you think you're gonna die because your wind's knocked out. Right in the riboplasmics. You know, we're feeling it. Coming on in, baby. Boom. Now look, here's the thing. Look, Casper Crew VIP Discord, every single time we get one of these short-term volatilities, we have been giving y'all in the Casper Crew at jasonstraham.com the setups, the entries, the take profits. All right, look at this, man. We have been all along the way giving the setups, the entries, the take profits, all right, the setups, the entries, the take profits, all right, even this one here from 115, the one we're currently in right now, setup, given in advance. And believe it or not, even the local area that we are currently bouncing from right now was a trade setup given in advance yesterday in the Casper crew. We are ready for the short-term volatility. Short-term volatility always leads to the high-term pump. All right, look at this. We had our low, we had our short-term volatility, we crashed that low, and boom, that was our move to the upside. All right, that was our move to the upside, which is the exact level that we were looking for yesterday in the Casper crew VIP Discord. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? I mean, would you even look at this? Would you even look at that? All right, yesterday we had given the long setup in advance. All right, right from this area, right here. And then as we came to the area, I said, look, we're in the long zone, but I'm not taking a long yet because market Cipher isn't giving us our confirmations yet. All right, we're waiting for that money flow to come up. And look at this. As soon as the money flow comes up and gives a signal, boom, that was the bottom, baby. That was the dang bottom. All right. So, what are we waiting for tomorrow? Well, getting back to TradingView here. And actually, you know what? Hang on. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Hang on one second. There we go. There we go. I lost myself for a second there. I lost myself, but I found myself. What do we expect with this FOMC tomorrow? I think we have to understand the fact that the Bitcoin price here. Oh man, I mean, we need a break. We need a big pump, and I think we can get it. But look, we have ourselves the bull market trend line, right? We have ourselves the bull market trend line. We came down to the trend line. We saw the bullish pattern, which tells us big pump probably coming, right? Momentum waves getting lower. Price making a higher low. Mirror mode, uneven butt cheek pattern. We take the butt cheeks. We stretch them out onto the chart like this. We stretch the gluteus maximus. Resemblance is quite striking. Boom. We get that move. Now, look at this. We zoom in even more. We go to the daily. What do we see on the daily right now? We see that the price has broken out above the range. Above 112,000, and we're holding above. Not only that, but we are holding local support at 115.2. All right, 115.2. Not only that, but we are seeing the money flow on the daily time frame dip to the zero line and now start to rise again. When we go to lower time frames, what are we seeing here? We are seeing big oversold waves on the 4-hour after a big break to the upside, and we've held above now for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. This looks like a really nice bottom that we made here on Friday, right? When you have a low and then you take that low and then you get a break back inside the range and you hold that value area low, that is a bullish structure. All right. We also have seen the fake out of the triangle to the downside. Now we know what Bitcoin loves to do. Bitcoin loves to fake people out. This is a classic Bitcoin move. Form a triangle, fake everybody out, stop out all the longs, come back inside the range, reject from the trend line again, come back down to the value area low, and then we actually get the real breakout. All right, this is one of Bitcoin's favorite things to do. All right, as we also look at the 4-hour, money flow has bottomed out, and money flow is starting to come back up. And then as we go to our lower time frames, yesterday, as we made our low, we are seeing bullish divergence on the 1-hour. We are seeing bullish divergence on the 24-minute. All right. We are seeing bullish divergence on the 12-minute, making it look like this is a really nice low here. Making it look like we could see the breakout of this range. Okay. Now again, we have our criterion in the sand, our lines in the sand for trading this price action. Okay. And again, I want to make it very clear. Just because I'm bullish doesn't mean you should long right now. All right. The last two places to long were here and here. All right. Those were the last two places to long. The time before that, The place to long was here. The place to long was here. All right, each one of these 4 entries was given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord because we don't just long because we're bullish. We have to wait for an entry. We have to have a plan. We have to wait for a setup. And if you want to learn that stuff for free, I have a free trading course on my YouTube channel. All right, it's the best YouTube channel on MySpace. Check it out. YouTube.com/Jason Casper. Okay, it's a great YouTube channel. Look at that. And we have 18 sessions of how to trade. A free course. Look, you could get 1,300,76 and 76 dollars by trading, by learning on the free course. Okay, look, secrets to become profitable. Oh my, we are revealing it all here, baby. With naked points of control. We are revealing it all here, baby. There ain't nothing left unexposed in this course. So check it out for free. All right, we also have to give a shout out to WEEX because they are offering juicy fees, all right, for trading Bitcoin and altcoins. Link in the description. We also got a shout out ANTARCTIC exchange, decentralized exchange, very low fees if you use my link. Great exchange, huge things coming for ANTARCTIC. Very excited. Also, we got to shout out BLOFIN. BLOFIN right now is offering, if you use my link, 0.035% market order, 0% limit order, 20% cash back. And of course, guys, we got to shout out KSEX, my favorite exchange to scalp on because the fees are insanely low. I've been scalping on this thing, all right, and it's been fun. And of course, if you know how to trade, but you don't have any money, check out Klein Funding because this is a crypto prop firm. And I have discount coupons in the description. Discount coupons, 25% off these funded accounts. If you don't want to pass a challenge and you want to start trading with 50 grand immediately, 15% discount. Link in the description. All right. So here's what's happening as well. Over here, let's pop on in. Look at this. This is our triangular pattern. Okay. So long as we're holding above 115 now, I'm super bullish. We lose 115, then we have to expect the back test of the support resistance slip. So we take it level by level, right? We take it level by level. That's how you got to have your plan. We take it level by level. We say, we've had a strong breakout. We've closed 3 weeks of price action above here. So long as we're holding now above this low, this wick that we made last Friday, the 25th of July, we expect more upside. If we lose this wick, then we have to expect a drop back down to retest what used to be resistance for 8 months. And this could be the next big juicy long of the bull run, going up to $130,000. All right. But as long as we hold above here, I'm pretty bullish. You know, I think upside is definitely more probable right now than downside. Let's take a quick look here at the order flow. See what the market makers are doing. The market makers from Boston. The Bostonian market makers. All right, the Bostonian market makers. What are they doing? Wow. Bullish CBD, guys. Bullish CBD here locally. We have this low, and we have seen as we make a higher low, kind of bouncing from the VWAP, that there are more shorts opening up. We got shorts opening up here. Increase of open interest. That is a bullish CBD divergence. And honestly, when we look at this entire structure here, the CBD is bullish as well, okay? Now, it's not as bullish as we would want. Man, EXO is like so dang... I gotta switch platforms here. There we go. Now, you can see from the low that we made at 115 to the current low we're making here, the open interest is pretty flat, man. It's actually pretty much the same. But whenever we do see trades opening up, they're shorts, all right? So we're seeing more shorting than longing in this consolidation, and price is unable to break the support. So that in and of itself is very bullish, because if you see a range forming, right? And as the range is forming, there's more and more and more and more shorts opening up here, but price isn't losing support. In fact, it's reclaiming resistances and holding them as support. This is a sign to us that there are bigger players here who are actually absorbing retail shorts, looking to push the price to the upside. And so we are seeing all these signs here. Tomorrow is the FOMC announcement. It will create short-term volatility, and short-term volatility leads to a long-term trend. We see it over and over and over again. Now, we also take into account the Ethereum chart. Wow, the Ethereum chart. We were looking at this yesterday. Let's take a look at the high time frame Ethereum chart. Okay, look at this, man. Let's just look at this. Ethereum, this is the fair value zone. Is there anything bearish about this? I'd have to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. The price came down to bear market levels. In fact, if we pull the range of the whole bear market, would you look at this, right? We came down basically to bounce from this high volume node of the bear market. Then we get a big shot to the upside, find a little bit of resistance at value area low. As soon as we reclaim value area low, we shoot up again above the high volume node of the bull market, and we are just flirting with this next big resistance at $4,000 Ethereum. Now, once we reclaim that $4,000 Ethereum, I believe the floodgates are going to open for more upside because, you know, again, like, I'm not trying to be overly bullish. But we have to understand, when you have a 2-year, how long ago was 2021 now? What year is it again? When you have a 4-year, can you believe that, guys? Can you believe how fast time goes by? Man, life is so short. Life is so short. Make sure to spend time with what's important, all right? Don't let the urgent get in the way of the important. Man, that's some advice my friend's dad told me once. Don't let the urgent get in the way of what's important. Two very different things. All right, the urgent, I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, gotta make this, gotta do the dang laundry, cut the dang grass. You know, what's really important? Relationships with God and with other people, right? 4 years gone by like that, man. All right, we have a 4-year trend line. We have tap numero uno, tap numero dos, tap numero tres. And sí, señor, I am speaking español in honor of my two friends, El Punto Rojo y El Punto Verde, the red and the green dot on Market Cipher B, personified as Mexican gangsters fighting over support and resistance levels. Who's going to control the candles? Now, look what we're having here. Fake out all the way down. Now, remember we were talking about how Bitcoin loves to fake out the triangle and then pump? Well, what do you know? ETH had a triangle, faked it out, and now it's pumping back in and is breaking out right now of the trend line. The 4-year trend line have closed 2 weekly candles above, very strong. And as soon as we reclaim $4,000, we are going to rocket ship to the upside. Jay, how can you say that? I'll tell you how I say that, all right? Market Cipher B. Market Cipher B. Market Cipher B, the best indicator on TradingView. All right, Market Cipher B. All right, the indicator that yesterday told us that the low wasn't in yet. All right, we gave the long setup in advance. As we came to the long zone, the 12-minute money flow was telling us, look, it's not time for the launch yet. Not yet. We were bouncing, but the 12-minute said not yet. Well, we wait until the 12-minute says go time, and then that's the actual bounce, right? That's the actual bounce. Now, Market Cipher B, I'm telling you, what a great indicator. What an amazing, the 1-month Market Cipher B for Ethereum right now. Oh my goodness, guys. I am telling you, this confirmed green dot on the monthly has not even begun to play out yet. Has not even begun to play out yet, in my opinion. Oh man. I think we have another few months. Last time we got a green dot on the monthly time frame. Let's see how many months of upside we got on that one. 150 days. That's crazy. Was that the top there? 150 days? No, it was 120 days. So 120 days. Let's see where that's going to put us. Right around November. Oh, what do you know? The exact time where we expect the big blow-off top on altcoins. All right, this thing has not begun to play out yet. Look at the 2-week market Cipher B. Money flow thickening, momentum thickening. There is plenty of upside potential here. Doesn't mean we can't zig and zag as they say, right? But really, it looks super dang bullish to me. All right, so is tomorrow the FOMC going to be that catalyst that perpetuates the bullish bounce? Look at the daily here, man. Looking good. Look at the daily money flow thickening here. Look at the 2-day. Oh my goodness, look at the 2-day. Look at that money flow on the 2-day. Man, Ethereum is a sleeping gigante. It's a sleeping gigante. Now I speak Italiano. I was speaking Espanol before, but now I speak Italiano. And maybe I switch to Espanol in Italian accent. Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Sí, yo tengo un gato en mis pantalones cortos. Y mi madre es en la cocina. Sí, señor, and she making the meatballs. And she making the pasta, and she making the stuffed shells and the gravy. With the Italian sausage. Man, that is a bullish 2-day. In addition to this, guys, we have hidden bullish divergence here on our medium time frames. Okay, we have hidden bullish divergence on the 6-hour, and now we're getting another trigger wave here. Looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. This kind of gets me excited for Pump City. Now again, we have lines in the sand. Am I saying we're guaranteed to pump? No, nothing's guaranteed in trading. This is why you need a dang plan with risk management. But look at this. Big pump. Break up the 4-year trend line. Back test of the 4-year trend line. Higher high. Hidden bullish divergences everywhere. Money flow thickening like crazy. A break of $4,000 means rocket ship to the upside. Alright? It's gonna be nuts. Let's check out Cardano, the other sleeping giant here. Cardano, the other sleeping giant. Okay, now look. Cardano, this is the long... Man, we have been, like, look, we've been screaming it from the rooftops, y'all, on this channel about these coins going to Pump City. And we still have time here. But Cardano, look at this, man. We're going to go ahead and pull our lines. You know, we've got this forming. Now, I know what everyone's thinking here. Jay, watch out. I'd be careful being so bullish on Cardano because of the head and shoulder pattern here. You know, be very careful. The head and shoulder. Okay. Let's say this is a head and shoulder, and let's say it's going to break down to the downside. All right? Let's just mess around with that idea for a second here. What would that mean? What would that mean if our head and shoulder broke to the downside? All right. If we take our, hang on, let's not extend this. If we take our measured move here and we drag it on down, what's going to happen here? We're going to drop down into key support, major support, which would give us another chance right now to long from the entry that was already given here. If you missed it, this could be an opportunity now to get in, because again, we are seeing bullish market structure. We are seeing bullish divergences on massively high time frames. We're seeing money flow flip bullish. And so now, after making this low locally and breaking out of our trend line, if we come back to back test the trend line, which just also so happens to be the value area low of the range, the golden pocket, and the 786, that's juicy, man. That's juicy. Now again, I'm not saying this stuff is going to happen. I'm saying we need to be prepared for it. My grandma used to trade Bitcoin in the 50s, and there's one thing she told me that really stuck with me. She said, Jason, you could have the juiciest level of support ever on the chart, but a level of support don't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek. All right? It don't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek. What does she mean by that? She meant, Jason, if you don't see bullish divergences on market Cipher, don't long the level. It's that simple. All right? Now again, remember. You can use your indicator, market Cipher B, in order to know when to take the dang trade. All right, like yesterday, we were clear that Market Cipher B said the bottom's not in yet. All right, and I thought I was going to miss a move. I thought I was going to bounce without me because sometimes that happens. But I didn't take a trade because I didn't have my signal. It's not until Market Cipher B gave the signal that we actually got the move. This was the signal here. What is that signal? The price is getting lower to the support, and the money flow is getting higher, and the momentum waves are getting higher. That uneven butt cheek pattern. You have the big left butt cheek here, and the skinny butt cheek here. All right, and the money flow getting higher. All right, this is also known, at least colloquially, like, you know, I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, this is also known as the uneven Sam Bankman-Fried bullish man boob pattern. Okay, so here's the thing. For some reason, and we don't know why, everything about SBF is uneven. Look at his hair getting higher as the price is getting lower. Look at even the smirk getting higher here. Look at the eyes. Look at the man breasts. The left one is much more potent than the right one. Like, if I was poisoned and I looked in my herbalist handbook, the antidote, and it said, you need to make a tincture out of Sam Bankman-Fried's man boobs. And I walk out in the wild and I see a whole bunch of Sam Bankman-Fried man boobs growing in the woods. I wouldn't pick the right one. I would pick that left one. That is potent. All right? That's really going to be the antidote to your problems. That nice, big, juicy one on the left. Now, the right, not so potent. But when you see them growing together, that's going to give you the pump, man. Now, this level won't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek. But if we see cheeks down here on Cardano as we come to backtest this, man, I myself would probably take some of my spot Cardano and inverse perpetual that stuff, man. You know, I've already started to do that on Ethereum. I've already started to take some of my spot ETH and enter into a low leverage inverse perpetual position here with basically no risk of liquidation. Because, you know, I'm feeling that pump. I'm feeling it coming, man. You guys feeling that? Or is it just me? Man, you guys feeling that? Or is that just me? Like, I don't know. Is it hot in here or is it just me? Like, I don't know. Is it hot in here? Let me take another sip of my Market Cipher coffee mug. MarketCipherTrading.com. Man, Jason is the best Market Cipher shiller in the world. Man, do I really know how to shill an indicator? You know? You know, it's actually the coffee from this mug that gives me the focus to place the trades. All right? And look, you can see there's a little transparent hole in the coffee mug too. Pretty cool. Shout out to Cooper. He says, I bet SBF is now fit with a neck tattoo. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Gen X Crypto says, big pump's coming. Major shout out to Joe Potter. What's going on, bro? God bless you, man. That is too far. Says Island Hip Hop. What's too far? What? Oh, the jokes? Sorry, sometimes they just come out and, you know, what do I know? I'm just a crazy guy on the treadmill. All right. Now, other. Let's check out Sol. Man, Sol. You know, if Sol makes a higher high here, that is a proper breakout and backtest of this value area high. If Sol makes a higher high locally here, that is a proper breakout and backtest. Let's check out the weekly. Actually, let's check out the monthly on Solana. Guys, we have 2 days until we confirm a green dot on Solana. All right, 2 days until we confirm a green dot on Solana. And we close this monthly candle above this value area high. We're closing like 213, 216. Man, that is a good bullish sign. All right, look at what's happened here on Sol. We had our historic support resistance level going all the way back to 2022. Support, flip to resistance, support. We do a stop hunt. We take out all the liquidity here, bounce perfectly from this monthly order block. Now we're back in the range, back to value area high, back test value area low. This looks super dang bullish. This monthly looks insane to me. Look at the 2 week here. Now the money flow on Market Cipher is the real leading indicator. Okay? The money flow on Market Cipher is the real leading indicator. All right, now look at this. This is that whole long setup that we were looking at yesterday in the Casper crew, right? The money flow is the true leading indicator. As long as the money flow is getting lower, you don't expect the low to be in. But once that money flow starts to get higher, then when we make a lower low like that, you expect that to be the bottom. Money flow is a leading indicator. Look at how the money flow, once it starts to tick up, is predicting what's going to happen. All right, market cipher is not a lagging indicator. People say it is because the dots are lagging indicator. The dots confirm, and basically those dots are saying, if you're scalping, you missed the move. All right, the dot is there to tell you to stop pushing that button because you're too late. All right, but the money flow, that is a leading indicator. This is telling you what is going to happen before it happens, right? So when we come to SOL, and we're seeing, and again, we're stacking confluences. We're not just looking at one thing either. We're saying we have the support resistance flip, we have the range, we have the stop hunt, we have the hidden bullish divergences, and now we're saying locally, we've made a nice back test higher low within the range. And look at the weekly, look at the 2 weekly, should I say. Look at the money flow. Is it getting lower? No, it's getting higher. Look at the momentum waves. Is it getting lower? No, it's getting higher. All right, let's look at the 1 weekly. Look at the 1 weekly. Now this is also quite interesting because you will notice in very bullish trends, the money flow acts as support. So this money flow curving down like this now looks like she wants to start to curve back up again. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Even this weekly momentum wave, I think looks like it has more upside. Now, again, this is just my bias. I've been very bullish since April, all right? And usually I'm very neutral. But all things stacked together right now, if we're going to see altcoins pump like a real alt season, if we're going to see that, it needs to happen in the next few months, all right? It needs to happen in the next few months. Because, if not, then it's over. So because it's such a binary yes or no option, when we're seeing bullish signs here, while Bitcoin is maintaining an uptrend, I have to say that it makes me feel like we're going to see a bullish end of the year leading into next year, right? Now, if things change here and we're trading back down underneath this box, then I'm obviously going to have to change my tune, all right? But right now, I'm feeling super bullish on all these assets that I'm showing here. And I understand people could look at this chart and say, well, Jay, if we make a higher high, that's going to be a bearish div. You're right. It will be a bearish div. You expect bearish divs to be forming on these high time frames during those big blow off tops. It's inevitable. That's what causes the blow off top, right? But looking like we got one big last push up here. And again, I want to make it very clear to everybody watching, just because I'm bullish doesn't mean you should long on leverage or buy anything. Okay? You should not enter into any investment, leverage or spot, without a clearly calculated plan. All right? This is so important. People, I guarantee a lot of people listening right now, they're not really listening. They hear it, but they're not listening because they're so eager to make money quick. You need a plan. And I highly recommend, if you are new to trading or investing, go and check out the free course. It's totally free, guys. This will save you so much time and money. This is for leverage trading, day trading, but the same exact principle applies to spot. The same exact principles apply. It's just on a different time frame. All right, go check this stuff out here. Especially the risk management, understanding risk management, understanding this one, how to make a trading plan from a blank chart, and then how to manage open trades and finding the perfect entries. Those 4 sessions alone, all right, if you are new to this stuff, will save you so much money. And I also highly recommend you check out the trading psychology, because that will also help you a lot, all right? Managing open trades and trading psychology, the two actually go hand in hand. You know, people think trading psychology is like separate from the actual execution. No, they go hand in hand. Your psychology and how you mentally approach the charts is going to determine how you actually manage your positions. Your psychology is going to determine how you push that buy and sell button. You know, your psychology is going to determine how you use your stop losses, right? Some of you people probably use stop losses the same way I use condoms. You know, you start out with it, but then you take it off. All right? Next thing you know, you're like me. You got 7 kids. Okay, I don't have 7 kids. I have 3. And I love them all. But yeah, look, you gotta have your psychology and all this kind of stuff, all right? In check. Let's see, what else we got here? We got Chainlink, man. Look at Chain. Let's just take a look at the 2-week here. All right, so everything about this, in my opinion, is quite bullish. We have our low with our bullish div. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We're holding the trend line right here. Look at this. This is a perfect trend line going all the way back to the exact low. Now, I recognize the fact that we're kind of late to the party here. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know, we were saying this is a great opportunity back here. Now we're up here. Okay, now we're up here. There are a few possibilities right now on Chainlink. I'm not even going to say this is a bad. Let's just analyze this like from a potential spot buy aspect. It's still almost a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. It's really not a bad entry right now, but there is a scenario which I think would be really good. Oh man, and I don't even know if we would get it, really. I don't even know if we would get it. But right now, I would say a back test of this trend line again would be really nice if we were to get this kind of like this head and shoulder here, but it wouldn't break to the downside. Maybe we do dip below the trend line. Maybe even we come back down to take out these lows. If we come back down to take these lows here, guys, at $10, man, that would be a juicy fake out of a head and shoulder and then pump. All right. That would be a juicy fake out of head and shoulder and then pump. All right. Let's look at our monthly on Chainlink. Look at this. Oh my goodness, guys. We've got ourselves a juicy green dot of printing here. All right, a juicy green dot of printing. Check out our 2-week. Hidden bullish divergence on the 2-week. Check out our 4-day. 4-day is ambiguous, honestly. It's ambiguous. So I'm bullish on Chainlink fundamentally. And I think technically speaking, because of what Bitcoin's doing, because of what Ethereum is doing, we could see a big pump on here. Let's check out, while we're looking at this, let's check out BTC.D. Look at this. This is quite interesting right now. We are in this channel, and we are seeing Bitcoin dominance lose the channel and backtest. Now, again, this is the weekly chart here. So we have a solid close below, and then look at this. I mean, we wick back up to it. And of course, this is not an exact channel, right? It's just a guesstimation channel here. But so far, we're holding below this channel. Let's actually draw this out properly. Let's actually draw this out properly here. Okay, so we have seen this before, really. We saw this happen back in November when Trump wins and we saw that meme coin season. Man, that was weird, right? But other than that, we've held this trend line. So I would really be watching right now for the potential back test on Bitcoin dominance of this Fibonacci golden pocket for really like the altcoin season to begin. Because here's a really like good scenario, I would say. Bitcoin does get another rally up to 130-ish thousand, which pushes Bitcoin dominance back up to the actual trend line and the Fibonacci golden pocket 786. And then we can see like a real altcoin season. And this would be our first. No, it wouldn't be our first. But in the like, let's just not include this whole like Trump wins the election thing here with like Trump coin and all this, because that was obviously like a lot of like. The time wasn't right. The time wasn't right. In the 4-year cycle, if you still believe in it, and I still do, I know a lot of people don't, but we'll see. Within the 4-year cycle, this would be our first like real lower high coming in. And also the bearish divergences are here now. They weren't here right here. The bearish divergences are now officially here. Like locally, we've got this bear div money flow momentum coming down right here. So yeah, let's see if we get that back test coming in around September. Right? Around September, that's when we would kind of expect that Bitcoin top to come in. And then we expect that altcoin season. Around 64% backtest of Bitcoin dominance. Then we can see a big drop in Bitcoin dominance, losing this trend line with a proper backtest, and then getting a drop down. So, you know, these altcoins, although I could see us being very bullish, especially for ETH and maybe some of the higher cap coins in the summertime, August, September, I think. Yeah, honestly, yeah, August, September. And it's coming up quick, man. It's going to be here before we know it. I think we got a lot of things lining up here. All right, do I ever use fib circles? No, I don't, but I know a lot of people do. Okay? I know a lot of people do, and I know a lot of people actually do very well with them. Right? But I just have never really gone into it. Is walking and trading easy, Mr. Q? Yes. In fact, if you walk and trade, it will change your life. All right, more mental focus. Your positivity is through the roof. Man, I'll tell you, there's nothing worse than... There is really nothing worse than that feeling you get where you wake up in the morning and you're highly caffeinated and you sit down at your desk, and at first, for like an hour, you feel amazing. You're in a good mood, you're positive, you have energy, and then you get this like, it's not even a caffeine crash. I don't want to say it's a crash. It's like this, your body still has energy, but your brain is tired feeling, you know? Where you just kind of sit there and you didn't use the caffeine. Like, I don't know about y'all, but for me, if I'm drinking caffeine, I need to use the caffeine. When I use the caffeine, it keeps my energy up, right? If I drink a cup of coffee and I like go for a long car ride, I almost feel like a zombie after a while, right? And then you have to make the choice. Do I drink another coffee and get the jitters? Or do I just ride this thing out, right? So you get a walking desk and it changes everything. The mental focus is there. The human body was meant to move. And scientists say, all right, that, yeah, when you exercise and when you walk, it actually helps your brain solve problems faster. There's more blood flow. It makes sense. There's more oxygen in your brain. Have you ever tried to, like, you probably haven't. Have you ever tried to, like, write something? Maybe you have to give a public speech. All right? And you have to write it down. When you're walking, man, the juices are flowing, right? You get good ideas when you're out for a walk. You're in the zone. You can, like, I don't know. It's just, it's a game changer. And plus, if you're a fat guy like me, because I'm a fat guy at heart, all right? I don't know, maybe I had some kind of weird thing when I was a kid, but I've always had a very strange relationship with food. You know, I was very obese as a teenager. Then I was like borderline anorexic. And then I got into like exercising and weightlifting, and long story short, I've always had a problem with a very, very high appetite. If you have a very natural high appetite and you get a walking desk, you can eat until you're satisfied every single day, fully satisfied, don't even want another bite of food, and you can still maintain a lean body, a lean, healthy body. Which is a crazy hack, which makes sense because when you think about the history, especially in the West, where obesity runs rampant, everyone's like, what changed? Yeah, I know, the GMOs and the vaccines and the chemtrails and the high fructose corn syrup and the trans fats, right? But really, I think what really changed the most is the lifestyle. People went from having to walk everywhere and do everything themselves to having to not do anything, you know? I mean, even just doing the dishes at the sink. You know how much more calories doing the dishes at the sink burns than putting them in the dishwasher? It's pretty crazy, you know? So, we live a sedentary lifestyle. We're not meant for it. We're not meant for it. We're meant to move. We're just meant to move. If you do what you're supposed to do, your body will act like it's supposed to act. You're not going to be like fat and sick. I mean, obviously there's always exceptions, right? I'm just mean as a general rule. As a general rule, if you treat your body right, your body will function properly. But if you treat your body wrong, it's not gonna. So this is a hack. The walking desk. It's a hack. We're not meant to sit at a computer screen all day. That's gonna kill you, right? So this is a way to make a desk job a physical labor job. You know? We got a super chat in the house. M Freeze! He says, bro, you walk an incline, shout out to the condoms. Yeah, man. Slight incline, just so that it's not so bad on my knees. But shout out to M Freeze, God bless you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Can we look at SPX 6900, please? Yeah, we'll take a quick look at that. We'll take a quick look at that. But honestly, look, I'm a huge proponent of eating healthy as well, alright? And I've never tried eating as much as I wanted of junk food and trying to stay healthy. When I eat as much as I want, I eat a very, very, very clean diet. The most processed thing I eat is, I say bone broth protein powder and or peanut butter powder, which the ingredients are peanuts only. And the bone broth, that's the most processed thing I eat, which does contain like, if it's the flavored kind, it contains like natural flavor. Who knows what that is? That's the dirtiest thing I eat. Other than that, just all like single ingredient, whole foods. That's it, as much as I want. All right, SPX 6900, everyone's favorite thing here. Wow, man, we were pumping. Okay, so look, this is a breakout of a cup and handle, and when we were back at $1.82, I said this is probably not a bad buy. Let's see how much we've come up here. 20% since then. Here's the problem right now. The risk to reward is not that great. Alright, to be honest, the risk to reward right now is not that great. It was pretty dang good back here. We were at $1.81. It was a 3-to-1. And this is the target of the... Wait, how did we get this target? Wait a second, how did I get that target? Let's take the target of the actual cup. Oh, it is the target of the cup and handle. Yes, target of the cup and handle. When it's not on log scale, alright? So that is a target. Could it pump higher? Absolutely. The problem right now with it is, where would you get in? You'd have to go down to a lower time frame. Oh crap, you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Hang on. Sorry. We're looking at this cup and handle. Alright, we've got the target. But the problem right now would be where to get in, right? To make it worth it. We've already got the breakout in the back test of the trend line of the cup and handle, right? So I suppose if you consider that the back test is now where your stop loss goes, that's still not the best risk to reward, okay? That's still not the best risk to reward. Man, that was a beautiful breakout and backtest. Yeah, so that would have to be our next target. And other than that, we're in price discovery. And I don't really have too much historical data here to say what our next targets could be, right? The only one I can say for sure is $3.20, which from here is a 46% pump, and we would be risking 1 to make 1.8. It's honestly not the best, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying it can't pump. I'm just saying, right now, like, as far as, like, looking at an asset to get into, we would need to either wait for a pullback, we would need to either wait for something like this, where we come back again and backtest, like, this support resistance flip zone, right? Or we need to wait for some kind of more local entry, I would say. Like, wait for another range to form here. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough one. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Should we put long positions on Ether Bitcoin at the moment? If you're asking this question, I think you should go and watch my free trading course on my YouTube channel. Alright? That's, if you're asking that question, you shouldn't put a long position in anything. You should go watch the free course on my YouTube channel, alright? Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pump. We got to be prepared for mañana, for tomorrow, for mañana. Make sure to smash up the likes, guys. I got that bag already on SPX. Mr. Q. Then, hey, I would hold that thing, man. I would hold that thing. I would, you know, for me, if you already got a bag, I would have to take profit at the target of the head and shoulder, at least scale out a little bit. Yeah, I would scale out a little bit. Alright, we got another super chat in the house. Shout out to EEE, who says, take a look at Jasmy. Let's take a look at Jasmy, alright? Alright, so this is honestly like my plan for Jasmy here. I think it's still valid. I think it's a beautiful backtest, support resistance right into the 886. I think, you know, we've made a higher high, we've made a higher low. We're flirting now with this major support resistance flip here. So I would say we would even have an opportunity to get in, like, upon a... We've already had daily closes above this level here. But if we make a higher high, like this, that would be a pretty clear entry as well. To get in, like here, to the high, which is a 5 to 1 risk reward. If we get in now and we front run, we're front running that support resistance flip when we have our stop under the low. It's a 6 to 1 right now, assuming we come up to the high that we made back here in December 2024. Assuming that Jasmy pumps back to, let's say, some higher levels, like, you know, 21 cents, then that's a really good risk to reward, even entering right now. And again, this whole thing here is bullish market structure. We're making higher lows, we're making higher highs. We're maintaining the trend line. We're back testing major support, right? Breaking out of major resistance, holding it as support at a key fib level, and even now seeing signs of strength. So I don't know much about Jasmy fundamentally. I do hold some. We are also seeing hidden bullish divergences here on the weekly time frame as money flow gets thicker. Things look pretty good for Jasmy, to be honest with you. I have to be honest. Major shout out to Crypto Coons. Major shout out to Andy Bitcoin Census. Guys, make sure to go subscribe to Andy Bitcoin Census, one of the realest YouTubers out there, honestly, when it comes to his trading. Absolutely love to watch him. Go check him out. You're not going to be disappointed. You are not. Alright guys, I'm going to have to head out. We got a VIP live stream in the Casper crew happening in 1 minute. Go check it out if you're looking for low time frame entries. May God bless you all in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, clicking the bell, sharing on MySpace, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.